Right everyone, and welcome back to Vettel Career. In the previous race it wasn't a good drive at all at Silverstone, and yeah, if you missed that one then feel free to go back and watch it now using that sidebar on the side there. But yeah, this is how the standings look then, and fortunately for Vettel, Schumacher and Alonso weren't on the best of form that day either, so he hasn't lost too much ground in the championship. He's still 24 points behind though, and after this we will be at the halfway point of the season. So yeah, it really does need to improve a little bit here and get decent results. We're here at the Canadian Grand Prix then for the North American leg of the season, and yeah, Vettel 11th then in the first part of qualifying. So yeah, that's not too bad, and he'll be looking to get into the top 10. I think he does have the pace to get there, and yeah, I don't think his Q1 time was that representative of his pace. The cross line comes in, it's a 1:12.7 then, that's a good time there, and that was the only time he did. He got through then in 7th place and shootout session then. And yeah, he'll be going into Q3 then. There's his teammate out in 15th place, once again failing to make the cut. And yeah, into Q3 then, and Vettel then on his early times, and just wanted to break the fourth wall for a second here and just ask what you guys think of the qualifying, because I've been thinking of changing it up a little bit recently and doing more like a qualifying report kind of thing. I mean, I know a few others do that with their series, and I don't want to copy them, so I will be doing something a bit more. I'll be adding sort of my own like twist to it. But yeah, I'm just wondering what you guys think of it. Would you be interested in seeing that, or do you prefer things how they are now? Yeah, just let me know in the comments, and yeah, we'll see. I mean, it won't be for a couple of episodes yet, but because I'm doing a couple of back to back. But nonetheless, then here we are in qualifying, as I say. It's a 1:12.7 there. So Vettel actually hit the wall of champions on that lap, and that set him back quite a bit. And yeah, it took him to the end of the session and to do another lap after that. He comes to the line. Can he improve on his time? We're going to see now. He improved to 1:12.6 and he improved by a tenth of a second, but he stays 8th on the grid then. But look at that then. The four main title contenders are all next to each other on the grid then, from 5th to 8th. So yeah, none of them having really that great of a qualifying session then today. And yeah, Vettel then, that 8th place isn't too bad for him, I don't think. So we go to the grid now then. Giancarlo Fisichella takes pole for the Renault team. And yeah, we've been saying about he hasn't had a great season so far, but that is going to silence some people, no doubt. But and then a good second place for him with Webber then, who got pole last time out there on the second row of the grid. Then, as we said, it's the four main protagonists in the championship battle then, from 5th to 8th with the two Toyotas then. Good effort from them to get into the top 10. And yeah, Felipe Massa then, the race winner from last time out, back to his usual form for this season, and he's out in Q2. And yeah, looking further down we see Villeneuve there in his 13th at his home race. And further down it's the usual suspects there, the Toro Rossos, the Midlands and the Subaru Guris. So here we are then on the grid, and of course Vettel got a second place here for Toro Rosso last season, so he'll be hoping to go one better this time. We've got the lights coming on now. Away we go then at Montreal, and Vettel with a fantastic start. He's already passed Alonso and Raikkonen then, going side by side with Michael Schumacher towards turn 1, and it looks like he is ahead of him in fact as he turns in. I was expecting the Ferrari to be alongside him, but no, Vettel had the place and he's up into 5th place already. He's passed all three of those drivers then, and what a fantastic start that was, and quite similar to the one he had last season then, where he just went on the offensive for the whole first half of that race, and that's what got him on that podium. But he's looking at Mark Webber now then, and yes, really is a repeat of last season then, as he's passed him as well then, up into 4th place already, and already looking at one Montoya then in the McLaren. So this has been a fantastic start to the lap then for Vettel, but Webber is looking back in now then towards this 3rd chicane, I believe it's on this lap, but no, he couldn't pass into that. That's a very tricky place to overtake into. So yeah, Webber backing out of it then. And yeah, Montoya already starting to build out a little bit of a gap with Vettel, closing back in and on the brakes into the hairpin. And this is where we saw a lot of overtakes last season then on this main straight. And Montoya then going very defensive then, I think, although I think it's just Vettel looking on taking a bit of an unusual line there. Vettel in the slipstream though, he's got fantastic straight line speed though towards the final chicane. Looks like he's already got the move done then before they even get to the braking point. And he's up into 3rd place, and so what a fantastic start that is to the race end. So he crossed the line, he's up into the podium place already, while those other championship contenders are still languishing sort of in the lower part of the points end. So you see a replay then, and well, Montoya certainly thought about going for that move then, but we see further back there was an incident going on as Massa spun Ralf Schumacher on, and they were 10th to length I believe, and well, he's caused a traffic jam at the final chicane, so that is not too great, and looks like Ralf Schumacher won't be going too much further than this race to be skipped to the fourth lap of this race then, and Vettel now looking at Jenson Button in the Honda, and yeah, well, Fisichella is already starting to pull away at the front, so he wanted to get this move done pretty quickly, but he almost runs into the back from there, a big lock up into the hairpin, but he's got a fantastic run out of the corner though, despite that, and he looks like, yeah, he's passed Button already then, so that's an incredible run he got out of that hairpin, despite running wide, but now Button's in the slipstream and he's going to fight back into the final chicane, and that's exactly what he's done, and well, he almost forced Vettel to take to the runoff there, and that would have got him a penalty, so yeah, Vettel having to sort of bang wheels with the Honda driver there just to avoid getting a penalty, but yeah, it looks like he's lost the place once again then, so it looks like Button will be a little bit more trouble to pass than at first look then. We see a replay of that then, and Vettel certainly tried to go defensive a little bit then, but I think he knew that the place was going to be lost then as Button went at the inside, and yeah, he just had to try and keep his foot in it there in the middle of the chicane just to avoid getting a penalty really. But on to the next lap then, and well, it looks like Vettel is a sort of staying back a little bit this time, because obviously you really want the position heading towards the chicane really, and yeah, I think that was his mistake last time that he just pulled off the pass too early, but yeah, up the inside and into the final chicane, it's going to be close, he almost is the back end there, they bang wheels for the second lap in a row, but Vettel is up into second place then, and yeah, Button is going to try and fight back towards turn 1, but it looks like Vettel's got the line this time then, and yeah, finally he's up into second place, and as Fisichella's put up quite a gap out front now then, and that's really going to be Vettel's task now for the rest of this race to try and close that gap down, because of course that's kind of what went wrong last season then, just with Schumacher having too big of a gap, and well, he has quite a bit of contact there, and Vettel so nearly lost the back end, but luckily held it together, and up into second place he went then, and yeah, there's a 5-second gap then that he had to close down to Fisichella now then, but across the line he comes in a few laps later, and he's set the fastest lap of the race then, and Fisichella 5.3 clear, so I think it was close to 6 seconds by the time he'd actually cleared Button, but yeah, across the line next time he sets another fast lap, it goes quicker by another 0.3 of a second there, so that's quite a bit of time to find there. And a few laps later then, big news in the championship battle as the other Renault is out of the race. Fernando Alonso has had an engine failure, and well, it's another crucial one for him. We saw him have 2 or 3 of them last season, which ultimately led to him losing the championship, so yeah, it's the same thing going to happen to him again this season then. Renault once again with bad reliability, and well, onto pinning that then for Vettel, and well, that's bad news for him there, because Fisichella hasn't come in yet, and he's actually stayed out, so this is very bad news for Vettel actually, and Red Bull, because they were actually lighter than the Renault during that stint then, and Fisichella is going to have a lap now of lighter fuel, while Vettel is out there on his fuel to the end, so yeah, it looks like they're going to have lost quite a bit of time to Fisichella then in this stint, and well, they would have been really hoping that he'd have been coming in at least on the same lap, but ideally before him, so they could try and gain a little bit of advantage in the pits, and out of the pits he comes in, he's still up in 3rd place, thanks to just sort of the field spread really, and Webber up there getting a good result. We got oil flags out there, and that's a back mark who's out of the race then, so nothing really affecting Vettel's race then. And on the next lap, Fisichella and Webber both come in then, and well, of course Vettel's only overtaken Webber, but Fisichella is still a fair way up ahead though. It looks like he has been hurt by traffic a little bit on his extra lap out, so it looks like that was actually a disadvantage for him, so yeah, Vettel was closed in by quite a bit there. You can see him up ahead just ahead of this Super Aguri, in fact, on the next lap I believe, but yeah, he's going to be wanting to clear the Super Aguri pretty quickly then if he's going to get on the attack of Fisichella into the hairpin. Oh, he's hit the back of him, and he's got a damaged front wing, and that is the last thing he needed there, and well, he can't pit in because that's just going to ruin his race, so he's going to have to try and chase down Fisichella for the win with a damaged front wing, and it doesn't seem very likely, but honestly, looking at the replay, it looks like Vettel was just a bit too ambitious there and a bit too eager to clear that Super Aguri, and yeah, he chucked himself into it rather carelessly I think there, but yeah, 3 laps to go and he was really struggling to keep up with them. I mean, he was matching his pace and up the World of Champions League what he did in Q3 and damaged his front right tyre, so yeah, it's really looking unlikely now, but he did well to keep the gap down to around about 2 seconds for most of the race then, and Well, you see here then Fisichella was struggling with traffic at times, but Vettel just couldn't get close enough as we skip to the final lap. You see that the gap is only about a second and a half, so yeah, it was a good effort from Vettel, but he just didn't have enough in the end. Of course, with that damage, it just was never going to happen. I think overall you'd have to say it probably was his mistake when passing that Super Curry. Nonetheless, it's a good result for him as he takes second place in Canada. So there are the final results then, and well, for the second race in a row we've got someone answering their critics then as Fisichella takes the win after what was starting to look like a very poor season for him. And yeah, Vettel in second place then. Of course, we saw these two collide at the last race in Silverstone. I completely forgot about that. But yes, Jenson Button rounds out the podium then, quite a way off the lead in the end then. Vettel just pulling away from him after overtaking him. And there's Montoya in fourth, Webber another solid result for him in fifth place, and Raikkonen and Michael Schumacher there, only 6th and 7th for them, so really not a good day in the championship for, well, the top three, and I think Vettel can't be too disappointed in the end really then to have scored comfortably the most points out of all of them. See Barrichello down there only in 12th place for him then today, with Clean 13th, and then there's Rosberg in 14th. And yes, Speed, Montero, Albers, Sato and Liuzzi all got lapped today then. Not sure what happened to Liuzzi for having such a bad race there. But we see E-Day, Ralf Schumacher at the race, and the most crucial one of course, Fernando Alonso in the Renault then. So yeah, certainly an interesting day in the championship battle then, as we see a driver point from today's race then. Fisichella with the full 10 points, and that should boost him back up there a little bit in the championship fight now then. And yeah, it takes him straight up to 5th place then. That's a lot of places he came there in fact, as Schumacher still leads then, Vettel closing into 18 points now at the halfway stage of the season. So yeah, I think it's still very much a four-way fight for the title here then, as Webber moves up today as well then, and Massa back down to 11th place then. Well, it went well for one race for him I guess, and yeah, points going down to 13th place then so far this season, so not a lot of drivers have actually scored points, has to be said. But in the constructors then, Renault scoring the most points today from Red Bull, and yeah, Renault taking back that lead over Ferrari then. So yeah, that lead didn't last too long then, but I'm sure Ferrari will be looking to fight back next time. Then there's Red Bull closing back up to Honda then in the constructors as well then, as we see Toro Rosso, Midland and Super Curry is still down there at the bottom. So it's once again a podium for Sebastian Vettel. I believe that is already his 5th of the season I think, in 9 races. So yeah, it's really been a fantastic first half of the season for him, and who knows what the second half will bring, maybe even a championship. So we head back to them at home now then, and the next race is the United States Grand Prix. But yeah, looking in the emails now then, and Red Bull once again delighted with that result at the Canadian Grand Prix. It was an excellent drive, as they say there. And yep, there's the news from today, and yeah, fantastic win for the Renault team. But of course it was sort of a bit sweet day for them really, with Fernando Alonso having that engine failure, and but for some reason they feel it more necessary to report on Yuji Day's retirement from the race. Don't know why that was, but well, you kidding, BMW? Really? You're gonna do that again? But anyway, it's skipping time now then. Will it be another win for the Renault team then at the United States Grand Prix? We'll have to find out next time. But if you did enjoy this race, then make sure you leave a like, and I'll see you next time for Indianapolis. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.